All right, Algebra 4-1, writing equations in slope-intercept form. All right, so your slope-intercept form. Okay, we covered this last unit. It's y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Okay, and when you write these, you keep the y, you put in a number for your slope, keep the x, and then put in a number for b. So you're replacing your slope and your y-intercept. All right? So we have got a point and a slope. Okay, so we've got xy. Points are always in xy fashion. And we have slope. We have y, mx. We don't have b, so we're going to find our y-intercept. We are going to find b. That's our first step. Okay? So we're going to fill in what we have. We've got 6 equals minus 3/4 times negative 8 plus b. So 6 equals, all right, multiply by the top, divide by the bottom. So negative 8 times negative 3 is a positive 24. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So I'll do that over here. So minus 3 over 4 multiplied by minus 8 over 1 equals 24 over 4, and that equals 6. Okay? Multiply by the top, divide by the bottom. Plus b, we're going to subtract 6, we're going to subtract 6, and that's going to give me b equals 0. All right, I know m. I have to know m. That's my slope, that's minus 3/4. I have to know b, that is 0. All right, so we write in y equals mx plus b. We fill in m with a number, fill in b with a number. So y equals negative 3/4 x plus 0. Well, we can simplify that one more step. This would be where we would stop if this was an actual number, but it's not, it's 0. So we can simplify this one more step to y equals negative 3/4 x. Okay? You must have an x, you must have a y. All right? Y equals mx. B happens to be 0 in this case. That's okay. All right, we're simply adding on. We started this whole concept in Unit 3. Okay? So, word problems. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. We have our steps here. So it says Marissa is baking a recipe that calls for her to turn down the temperature on her oven for part of baking time. Write an equation to represent the situation if the temperature in her oven drops 25 degrees every 30 seconds, and after 2 minutes, the temperature is 350 degrees. Okay? Determine a point on the line and slope. Well, a point is a specific point in time. Well, the specific point in time is after 2 minutes, the temperature is 350 degrees. So our point is 350. So that puts our y as temperature, and our x is time in minutes. Okay? So far, so good. All right. Now, our slope. Our slope is how we move from the point. So it's a constant rate. It's moving at a constant rate. So what's moving at a constant rate? Well, we drop 25 degrees every 30 seconds. That's moving at a constant rate of speed. Okay, so M equals, we're dropping. So if we're dropping, we are subtracting 25 degrees. And we are subtracting 25 degrees every 30 seconds. But our x is supposed to be, we are supposed to be dealing with minutes. Okay? Well, 30 seconds is how much of a minute? It's half a minute. So it's 0.5. We can divide this out. So negative 25 divided by 0.5 equals negative 50. What this means is that every minute, okay, so your temperature is going to drop 50 degrees per minute, because you could put this over 1. All right, so we're dropping 50 degrees for every minute, which makes sense because you drop 25 degrees in half a minute. Okay, so here's my M. We have a point, we have an M. Now that we have a point, we have an M, we can find B, which is the y-intercept. So we're going to find B. Okay. Remember, y equals mx plus b. We need to have a number for m. M equals negative 50. We need to have a number for b. And that's what we're going to do next. All right? So this is x, this is y. Y equals mx plus b. We have y, m, and x. We can find our b. Y equals negative 50. Negative 50 times x plus b. So 350 equals negative 100 plus b. Well, now to isolate b, we are going to add 100 on both sides. B equals 450. That means our temperature, initial temperature, started out at 450 degrees. All right, so B is 450. Now we have our M, we have our B. Now we can write our equation. Our equation, y equals m x plus b. Okay? And this is the final part you put in your computer for your answer, because your computer is looking for your equation of the line. But see all the work we had to do? See all the work we had to do? You must find your b. You must find your b. Finding your b requires work. I expect to see work. Using your notes to do your assignment is a skill. All skills must be practiced. You have to practice. See how we did it in our notes, and then transfer that skill into your assignment. It is a skill. You're going to suck at it at first. The more you practice, the better you get. You practice using your notes in your assignments, then you'll know how to use your notes when it comes time for the test. Because everything in your test is in your notes. You should be able to take your test with your notes and be able to find the problems and transfer the skills. It's a skill. You must learn how to do it. I'm not going to be answering any more questions of answers that are directly in your notes. So please, practice that skill in class. I will help you practice that skill. I will point out what you're supposed to be looking for, but you must do the work. Okay, let's turn this over. All right, so we are going to write an equation when what we are given is our 2 points. So now we have to find our m, which is our slope, because we have 2 points, we don't have an m. And we have to find our b, because we don't have a b either. And, well, y equals mx plus b, you need an m, and you need a b in order to write y equals mx plus b. So let's find our slope first. Again, finding slope was what we did in Unit 3. That was the whole prior unit, was finding slope. It is an equation. Label your points. Here's my first point. Here's my second point. Once you label your points, you're simply filling in your equation. m equals, put your fraction line, put your subtraction, because the subtraction and the negative sign in front of these numbers are not the same. So y2, 1.6. x2, negative 3.4. y1, put negative 0.7 in parentheses, x1, 1.2. All right, a negative times a negative is a positive, so we are going to rewrite this. 1.6 plus 0.7 divided by negative 3.4 minus 1.2. All right, 1.6 plus 0.7 is 2.3. Negative 3.4 minus 1.2 more is negative 4.6. So we have a positive divided by a negative. So this is negative. And we can simplify this. Well, it's negative 1/2. So m equals negative 1/2. But I notice all of my points are in decimal format. So when I find my b, chances are it's going to be in a decimal format. And if my b is in a decimal format, my m has to be in a decimal format as well. So that'd be negative 0.5. Because your equations can be in fraction form or decimal form, but not both. Our default is always fraction form, but every once in a blue moon, we do need to go to the decimal form. And if your b is in decimal form and it will not go into fraction form, just make your m a decimal as well. Especially because everything we were given was in a decimal format. Okay? So, now that we have m, we can now find b. Okay? And we're just going to pick a point, because you can use either point. It doesn't matter. The math will math out the same. Okay? I'm going to pick out the first point. You can pick out the second point. We did that in one of my classes. The math still mathed out the same. No big deal. So we have y equals a negative 0.7. X equals 1.2. M equals negative 0.5. Let's fill in what we have. Find b. So minus 0.7 equals m, which is negative 0.5, times my x, 1.2, plus b. We're finding our b. Negative 0.7 equals minus 0.6 plus b. So we need to isolate our b's, so mathematically we are going to move this. What we do to one side, we have to do the other. B equals negative 1/10. All right, so now we know what b is. So we know m equals negative 0.5. We know b equals negative 0.1. So now we can fill those in. Y equals m, x. Oh, well, our b is a minus 0.1. You get one sign. It's the minus sign. This is what I would type into my computer for my equation. Now, the reason why you get one sign, because when you put plus a negative, well, a positive times a negative, if you have plus 1 times negative 1, that equals negative 1. Stop putting two signs next to each other. All right? You aren't plussing a negative. Plussing a negative is a negative. One sign. If you continue to do this, it will continue to mark you wrong. And I will continue to tell you to stop doing that. One sign. Thank you. All right, remember, use your notes. It's a skill. You must learn that skill. Particularly you 7th graders, because you're going to end up in my geometry classes next year. And I teach the class the same way. So you must learn how to use your notes to transfer those skills. It's a skill. You're going to suck at it. Practice. Thank you.